Hello, everybody. I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare live chat. You are in the right place. Hope everybody's doing well. And we do this every Monday. It's live chat, 6 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays, except for the first Monday of the month is on Thursday. So there we go. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's see how people are doing. Okay. I believe that's Bruce. Let me know if I'm saying your name right. Bruce is here. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. And Vern is here. Verna is Base Place Blue Little Wrench, and she is moderator and does homesteading stuff from her apartment. Welcome, Verna. Second here, but first like, all right. Oh, all right. Bruce went and got a soda. Yes, Bruce was right. All right, that's what I thought. Oh my gosh. Verna is getting coffee. That's not a surprise. Okay. Oh, this room competes with Monday Night Football. So Bruce usually watches it later in the rewind. Well, good to know you're watching the rewind. Football's not ever been a part of my scheduling needs. I originally chose Monday because there was a whole bunch of people doing lives, and that was a day that, well, not nobody, but that was a day and time that nobody was doing it at. So that's what I did. And then, so that's why it's Mondays. No other reason. All right. And then why the first Monday of the month is not here and it goes up to the Thursday is because I am in a B group and Southern Oregon Beekeepers Association, and we meet on the first Monday of the month. So that did clash. But I guess I could talk about this. I actually there was some people that brought in some bee equipment at this last meeting. And so I now have a bottom box, the part that the brood goes in, a deep, and just the box, not the lid, not the bottom, but a box that someone was giving away. And then I think he made it too. And then I picked up a couple other things people are giving away. This is a feeder. I got two of them. You suddenly got really dark on my screen. Hopefully it didn't with you guys. Anyway, so these are feeders. So you put the board down and then you put mason jars on top with the punctures into the sugar water so that they can then come up here and drink. And so that'll be handy when I get beehives. And then this, I asked if I should grab one, and because I'm like, I don't have bees yet, but I don't know. And they said yes, because this company is out of business. But this is Country Rubes. Like apparently they're out. Come on, I have to shadow it. Hang on. Apparently they're out of business. There we go. But it is it's to protect your hive from when you have robbers around. Robbers not meaning people, but meaning insects. So if you have like yellow jackets going in to rob stuff, it prevents that. And what you do is you put this on the front of the hive. So here's the front of the hive, and you attach this, attach that. That way it's snug. And then when they come out of the hive, the entrance is at the bottom of the hive. So they come out right here, and then they crawl up to get out. And you can then, if you want to, close it at night. I don't know if it's necessary, but you can close that off at night or whatever. But the scent of all the entrance is going to be down here. And so the robbers that come to rob, whether they're bees, I think, or yellow jackets, they will just climb up here. And then when they get to this little shelf, shelf is only like that thick. They just stop. They don't know that there's an entrance over here. So I hope I don't ever have to use it, right? But if I do, I have one, and if not, if I need more, I can, model it after this. So that's pretty exciting to get some bee stuff already. So hopefully that'll be. Ouch! I just stabbed myself with the metal part. I really should go wash my hands, so I'm going to. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That was the thing you're supposed to pound into the box. I grabbed with my finger. So did a quick wash. Oh, this isn't open yet. I guess it is now. And Neosporin. I'm up to date on tetanus. I don't know where that's been stored. It looks very clean, but you don't know where it's been stored. So that's why I was like, I better go. Look at that. Anyway, first aid. These kind of Band-Aids, the knuckle and fingertip Band-Aids, are the most used out of all the Band-Aids that live here. So, okay. Anyway, so that is a pretty cool thing. And that is, it's cool to start getting equipment. I do still need to do the fencing. I've decided, I was kind of going back and forth about what to do with the fencing. So we have bears here. If you guys don't know that, I have a bear video. Bear took a deer carcass off the road and dragged it quite far and then ate it. And I got video of, there's a video about that. Search bear for that. So bears like honey. Imagine that. And I don't want them to get the honey. And then plus the area where I'm going to have the bees is, so I have a leach field on the other side of the road is where it is. I have a leach field and it has 8 feet in between the leach lines that is no disturbance earth. So it's never going to be disturbed, all of that. But that can have weight on it. Where the lines are can't have like huge amounts of weight on it, but in between them can. So it's pretty much the perfect area since I'm going to be fencing it off anyway, because if I ever have cattle or large animals out there, I don't want them walking on that. And we have elk, and the elk here are over 1,000 pounds. So I don't want them in there either. So I have decided to just go with big game fencing, which is the tall fencing, and probably add electric to that for the bears, so they don't climb over or whatever. But that's what I'm going to be doing. And then in the spring, we'll be getting bees. So we'll go on a learning adventure. Hopefully learning is in the good direction. Bees, I've heard, can take a while to get established and all that. So anyway, there we go. So now that I've injured myself, yes, Bruce, you are correct. He says, I love the chat in here. It gets into some off the wall topics. We go all over the place. I have a lot of knowledge in a lot of different areas. The viewers have a lot of knowledge in a lot of different areas, and we can make a full discussion. You're right. We don't stay on one topic. That is certain. That is certain. I wasn't even going to bring those up, and then I saw that they were in the background, and I figured someone was going to ask what that was. The rest of it's stuff that needs to happen. Yeah. Like these right here are what are they called? Touch and hold. It's like for door closers, and it's like you can set it open. It's that, but this is for the rabbit hutches. So I just haven't. It works without that, but it's annoying if you have to reach for something and you're like, and things on top of you, the lid. But yeah, this is good. So I have some of those. I just haven't added them. Anyway, so let's see what we're doing. We're saying, yeah, that needs to be on rewind. Education is more important. Oh, all right. Yeah, and Verna's on Saturday mornings and Wednesday evenings. Yes. How have you been? I don't know if you're talking to Verna or me. I've been okay. I've been a little stressed, but also good. Um, I was going to do a lot of things, and actually, Verna, I was going to come to your live, but I woke up like after it was done. I needed to sleep apparently on Saturday. I, I was like, oh my goodness. Apparently I needed this. So yeah. Um you guys have been following my water heater drama. Another water heater was delivered, a substitute for the one that was bashed in. Oh, you don't know that yet. Yeah. So the one that had been delivered as a substitute, or as a substitute that I had to pay for, before the other one goes back and then I'll get refunded, was bashed in, like that far on the fan part. Um anyway, and so the replacement came today, but they did not take away the bashed in one that they were replacing because that was not on their work order. They even called in and said, "Can we?" And they said no. And I'm like, okay, well, who's going to take it? So I currently have 4 water heaters here. My old one, which I would say probably still works, except that they kind of bashed it around getting out because it wasn't important. So I don't know how the elements are doing. It was garbage at that point. The one that's currently installed that works but leaks, the one that got bashed in, and then the new one. So it's annoying. And they also signed for me, which I'm not happy about. So I've done lots of complaints to Home Depot. Anyway, but the good things are bunnies are doing okay, chickies are doing okay, kitties are doing okay, and lemon balm is growing. So I don't know if you guys picked that up. Been a few weeks ago now, maybe a month and a half ago. I showed you guys the lemon balm growing back, and it's actually in a road. It doesn't look like a road right now because there's things growing in it. But when I do the tree stuff, if some of it is actually logged, I might have to move those. But it does really great in shade. So yeah. All right. I lost light. So it did go. I don't know what happened though, because I have my light here, like this light's here, and maybe it was a light on my actual computer. I don't know if that's better or not. That light's on. I have my light, and then maybe it was on the computer. I don't know. They like to, stop working right after the warranty. All right, Howie's here. Good evening, Howie. Howie said Howie's food forest permaculture. Good evening, Earthlings. Good evening. Hope you're doing good. Amy's here. Amy, I haven't seen you in a while. All right. She says, dropping by for a hi on the way to bed. I caught the loose turkey. Good. Good. We like it when we catch loose things. Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, that's probably a good story. It's probably a good story. Yeah, having to catch animals is always a little stressful. There was one day, and it happened twice, but only once did they get out. One day, and the only thing I can think of is maybe a fox got the latch or something, But risotto and all of her babies, I don't remember how old they were at that point. This is in the summertime, I think. Not summer, it would have been spring. They like half of her babies and risotto were on the ground. I mean, so it's up to my waist where the height is of the hutch. And so they had jumped down, gone around eating whatever, being all happy. And it's so funny because risotto, and this is a really good reason to know your animals and to call them by name and to have a system that you can say, come here. She was so excited to show me that she was out. And she ran towards me. She's like, look at this, look at this. Like, oh boy. Taste of freedom. Anyway, she came over. I got her, put her back in, got all the babies. It's so funny because Mr. Ringo, the kitty, he actually like he didn't chase any of them because I mean he's known them since they were born, right? He's never chased any of them, but he was like kind of keeping it in a spot so I could get it. It was pretty funny. So yeah, when another rabbit got out, that one I know was human. I don't know who it was because it was latched again. That was in the pasture. Someone unlatched it, took a bunny out, or relatched it, and the bunny was there. So when that happened, I was like, hey, Ringo, you remember when the bunnies were there? Can you help me? He didn't really help. He observed, but he didn't really help. Yeah. And on the couple times, I think it's only happened twice, 2 or 3 times, when a quail got out. And it was always like you open and then like there's a sound somewhere. And then they, one of them, just one, flushes out the door. And man, they have super duper camouflage. Even when you see where they go, you can't see them. And all they do is they sit there. They just, I'm going to wait until it's safe and then I'll move. And that's what makes it even worse to find them because they're not moving. All right. Ooh, Howie has roses. Roses. Nice. He says, thank you. Have a lovely evening. Thanks for dropping in, Amy. Yes, and I'm glad she caught the loose turkey too, Verna. Oh my gosh. Verna, thank you for the link for the bear video. Awesome. Sleep is important. You can always do rewatch. Yep. Yeah, weekends are tough. I know you're on the weekend. Giros is on the weekend, and Matt is on the weekend, and Urban. Oh my gosh, what is this channel called? Urban Growing Urban. Anyway, his is all weekend. Like he has he has Saturday and Sunday shows, and I may be more involved in that channel soon. I'll let you guys know when I know. There's an idea forming. But like because I work full time, like evenings and weekends is when I have time to do things. And so often it's doing things or making videos or doing things while making videos. Or if I go into town, it's going to be on a Saturday if it's a weekend because places aren't open on Sunday because I don't know why. A lot of places aren't open on Sunday. But like the whole weekend is just like, oh, I might catch something if I remember that it's on. All right. Bruce says our trash company picked up an old leaking water heater, required calling to make an appointment. This is a water heater that is not old. It is brand new that I paid for, and it leaks. Then instead of having a replacement, I had to buy a second one because there is no installation person with Home Depot. I had to buy a second one so that they could ship it out, have my contractor swap them out, and then they would pick it up. Well, my contractor was going to swap it out, and then we noticed there was a big, huge dent right in the fan. And this is one of the expensive ones because it's lower energy, 10-year warranty. So yeah, it has a heat pump in it, and so having it bent in where the fan is kind of important. Yeah. So yeah, it's special. Howie says, "I am well, best you. Thank you." Livestock guardian cat. He is. Ringo, so the grass is wet, and we all know, well, not we all know. Most cats don't like wet, right? Ringo specifically does not like wet. Fairly shortly after he had so he had his injury because he got in a fight with a cat, and then he was neutered at the same time when they put him under. And so he actually had just gotten out, and I still had the litter box in the laundry room, and because that's where he was living during his recovery. And I was sitting out on the front porch with him. I think I was working out on the front porch on the computer, and he started meowing at the door, and I'm like, "You're not allowed inside. You were only allowed inside the laundry room. You're not allowed inside the house. Like, you're an outside cat." And he was just meowing and meowing, and it was pouring outside. And so I'm like, okay, something's going on. So I let him in, and he ran right to the door to use the litter box. He wanted to use the indoor bathroom. Oh, he was so funny. So anyway, my point is, he doesn't like rain. He doesn't like wet, like really doesn't like it. Uh, and so when it stops being wet, so we're getting fog and dew and stuff like that has it wet, even though if it's not raining right now, he'll be out by the bunnies, by the pasture bunnies, like all day long. He'll just lay out there and watch them. It's kitty TV for him. But yeah, so that's good, but not right now. Shawnee's here. Good evening. She says, "Good evening, Shawnee. I hope you're doing well." All right. Okay. Abella's here. Hello, folks. Welcome, Abella. Awesome. All right. People are here. All right. Well, what do you guys want to talk about? Talk about bees, talk about silly kitties and rain. I did just get another catalog in the mail. So it's funny. They used to come pretty much all in the same week, and it seems like they're trickling out. So I got Baker Creek first, then I got Territorial Seeds, and Territorial Seeds is um a somewhat local to me. They are 2 hours away. And then I just got Johnny Seeds today. I haven't looked through it. I'm not buying seeds this year because I already have seeds. And I haven't looked through it yet, but Johnny's, as far as I know, is pretty standard stuff. It looks like they have different colored potatoes. I think most places do. But I don't know much about them except for I want a gift card, and it's not used up yet. And that's the only time I've ordered from them is from that. Oh, so this one this is not a plant that I want, but it does remind me of a plant that I want, which is the hibiscus that you eat the leaves. It's used for tea. Anyway, so Johnny's is out there. I don't know what else. What other seed catalogs are you guys getting? All right, let's scroll up while we answer that. Misty's here. Misty's neighbor, Misty. Just got home from work, and congratulations, you made it before the fog rolled in. Last night's fog was thick. Yeah. Yep. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. All right. Howie says, I have a stray cat, I'm guessing that is. A stray cat that stays in the food forest. Okay, I have ideas about this. I have known him for years, and people moved and left him, so I adopted him. His name is Cash, and a great mouse catcher. So both Ringo and Mama Kitty, I did not name them. They came with the house. They did not. I knew they were coming with a house. They weren't just left here. It makes sense to have outdoor cats stay with the house and not go with the people. They showed up. They adopted here. They made this their home. So, Howie, I have been thinking about once things are getting going and getting established. So a long time ago, I don't even know how many years ago, probably more than 10 years ago, I was on a job site and they had a chicken coop. And in the chicken coop was a cat. And I was like, okay. But their chicken coop was not, the half-inch mesh that quailers make their coops out, or not coop, make their aviaries out of. It had pretty significantly sized holes. And I asked the owner about that, and he said, "Yeah, I put the kitten in there. Put it in there as a kitten, and it grew up with the chickens, and it catches mice. So he just puts the food up high where the cat can get to, but the chickens can't, like up there. And so he does get cat food, but then he eats all the mice that comes in and is friends with the chickens. So I thought that was amazing. And so I took that and I was like, I wonder, because I wanted to, so the food forest that I'm going to do big game fencing, because again, we have big game. And if I'm going to go through the effort of making a food forest, I don't need the wildlife to eat it. They have enough stuff to eat around. But that is something I'm considering, is at that point, perhaps getting a couple of cats. I wouldn't do just one because they would be locked in. But getting a couple of cats to patrol the area. So they would be inside and they would have their own special, living place, but and places to hide and stuff like that for, owls and stuff. But that would be something that I was thinking about. I haven't gotten far in that thought process because the food force needs to happen first. But that is very cool. Very cool. Ooh, Abella has found a boyfriend buck for her rabbit doe. Awesome. 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 Remind me of the type that you have, because I don't remember and I feel like you really should. I know you've told me. Their big date is this coming weekend. Awesome. I do need to be making I need to breed risotto and penne to Percy soon. I need to check the dates. I think I'm right past 3 weeks for their babies. The babies are ready for having no nest box. They're ready for that. But yeah, so I do need to do that soon. Risotto, or, ravioli and rigatoni have nest boxes right now. I really don't know when they're going to be at birth. I just put it in on the early side. Ravioli had 3 different dates with Percy and still did not get confirmed. So I'm like, I'm done trying with you. You're either pregnant or you're not. It's Rigatoni's turn. I don't actually remember which one was first. I have it written down. But yeah, so that's babies coming soon, hopefully. All right. Bruce says, I will be finishing my quail aviary tomorrow. New birds by early Marchish. Awesome. Awesome. Did you get my Raising Quail and Aviary course? I don't know if you know about that one. And I'll bring it up here. It's really hard to type with a Band-Aid on your finger. It's not hard, it's just I can't feel it. Okay. Under education on my website, here's the course. And I will put the link here, but also show you what it looks like. Oh, I didn't have to do all that because I actually have a thing that copy and paste. It's pretty inexpensive. Let me share this. And it has a lot of information in it. Anybody who's watching me that's new might not realize this, but I've raised quail for quite a while. And in fact, at Quail Convention, here we go. I presented twice, talks on raising quail in aviaries twice. This is at my old place where I had quail aviaries. I had two of them. This was the main one, and then the other one was like over here somewhere. But this is a course. It's $25. It has a lot of good information. So you do have to have a Gmail or Google email account to get into it, because to reduce costs, I put it on, it's a Google Doc. So it's just a password protected Google Doc folder, and then it goes into the videos. And so yeah, I recommend you get that. I don't think you have it yet. Oh no. Anyway, but anybody who's doing quail, I will be doing quail again. It's kind of weird to, try to sell a quail course when I don't have quail currently, but I will be doing it again. So yeah. All right. But I hope everything goes well with that. All right. Miss C says hibiscus tea is great if your iron is low. I did not know it was high in iron. Awesome. Is that the cranberry hibiscus? What is the one I'm thinking of? It has a specific name. I think one of the common names is cranberry hibiscus. Or is it the green leaf one? Or is it any of them? Yeah. Good question. Verna's saying, Bruce, are you doing deep litter in your aviary? Yes, Bruce, we need more information. I have lots to say about aviaries, and deep litter is a must in my head. All right. Good to see you too, Misty. All right. Abella says I ordered some Isla Craig onion seeds to hopefully get big onions this year, plus Tahitian melon butternut type squash. Awesome. Awesome. You're going to be starting the onions as soon as you receive them. Good. Good. So I'm not planting anything right now. We're kind of getting into freezing. What I should be doing, and I think what I'm going to do when I go into town tomorrow, I'm gonna have to look for like food safe buckets, or even if they're not food safe, they're just gonna be in there for a little bit. But I want to get the 2.5 gallon buckets for sugaring, because I think this week. And here's the thing: when you check the weather, Berta's always asking me the weather, and I'm like, don't look it up because it's not good. The weather here in the winter time is colder than what all the weather.com and all that reports. And so we have been freezing. There was a skim of ice on the top of the water this morning and yesterday, and like we've been doing that. And so for the rabbits, when I go in, there's water, and there you go. But what's interesting is I just lost my train of thought. How did I do that? Oh, I was talking about planting things. So what's interesting is when it gets to that temperature where it's freezing, it's not going very far past freezing, or like lower than freezing right now. But when it's freezing at night and then above freezing in the day is when sugaring happens. And so I have what I need to sugar except for the containers to put it in. And I really should get like new cleaned containers. Like I could do milk jugs, but I feel like it should be, I don't feel good about that. So I think I'm going to try and look at that. I'll probably look online tonight. Home Depot's option. The other stores closed too early. I wish they stayed open later. Anyway, so I'll be looking at that and hopefully get some of the 2.5 gallon buckets to do sugaring and try that for the first time this year. There's 2 walnuts down in the orchard, and then I don't have sugar maples. Not that they don't grow here, but they're not native here. It's big leaf maple, which has about half the sugar per volume of liquid. And so, but I do have those. I'm not going to tap the front tree because it has significant root damage from the work that was done over here. So that's going to be several years before I tap that tree. But there are other trees. I think it has to be 10 inches or larger. And then, as I understand it, if you guys have done this before, interrupt me and tell me if I'm doing yes or no, right or wrong. But it's 10 inches or larger diameter, and you're supposed to put the tap in slight angle up, and that it is below a branch. That's the best vein. So tell me if I did it right. If you've done it, let me know. Anyway, so that's going to be on my list to do when I go to town tomorrow. And hopefully tap some trees. All right. Verna says, started the standard and sweet potato and purple sweet potato slips. You started those last week, right? Last Saturday, I'm guessing? Or like a week ago? Yeah. Yes, but it's complicated. No, Bruce. Deep litter is so easy. So easy. So easy. In fact, let me get the yeah, let's just look at this. Where is my, they keep changing things. My videos. Manage. There it is. Is trying to give us a commercial. Okay. Let me make this big and share screen. So this is a video. I'll put a link in there. So I give it. This is on silent, but I give a background. This is my old place in Gilroy, California, and I'm wearing a very similar shirt. I still have that shirt. So talking about bark chips and all of that, and then we go in, and this is what my old aviary looked like, and this is literally what you do. You just do that. Like, you can do it sitting down. You should be wearing a mask if it's dusty like this. I was not, but yeah, doing it with a mask is good. And they absolutely go crazy for it. They absolutely love it. And afterwards, they will make these like little divots and just dust bathe in it, and they'll go after, I don't know what, microscopic bugs, all that stuff. And that lady right there in the back, she was my old lady. That's why she doesn't have any feathers on her back. She was super old. So, and then the chickens, you don't have to do anything because they're chickens, and there you go. Okay. So, that is a good video for you to watch. And also, just buy the course. Just buy the course. But I go into there's a very, very in-depth conversation on deep litter in the course, like more than I have on my channel. It goes into very in-depth. So yeah, it is not that complicated. You can do it, depending on how many birds you have in there with you. Do it once a week. It doesn't, it takes, I think it took me like 5 minutes to do that one, 7 minutes, something like that. I showed it real time on purpose, because it doesn't take that long. And that was a space that was 7 by 10 about. And then if you have a larger space, you don't have to do it all at once. You can do some here and then some there, and move your way. Yeah. And it's the amount of compost you get out of the system is tremendous. And if just for that, financially, it's so worth it, because if you can get your wood chips for free, which I recommend you do, with tracking down some arborists or some tree trimmers, and then also you can do chipdrop.com. I don't think I would do that, but it is a potential that you can do. It's just that you don't know when it's coming. But that is definitely something to learn. So get the course, do deep litter. It will give you tons of compost. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now, unless you want to talk more about it. Okay. American chinchilla. I knew that. Okay, Abella has American chinchilla. The doe is chill, and the buck is extra friendly and proven. 1.5 years old, so hopefully should be good. So is this just a date, or is she gaining a lifetime companion? Is he being studded? Oh, man. Yeah. Shawnee says, cool. Don't know what you're talking about anymore because it was a while ago, but I agree. Okay, Southern Seed Exchange for hard to find heritage seeds. Awesome. Johnny's and Richter's for bulk seed buys. They do bulk seeds? I didn't know that. I was thinking it was going to be in the back, but those are tools. All right, I'll look later. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Did not know that. All right. Do I have a good source for quail egg cartons, Jumbo? Oh, Bruce, this is something that we see on the quail Facebook groups all the time. And as far as I know, there's no real good answer. Amazon has been the answer for a lot of people. And something you can do is to look for dove egg cartons, because they are slightly larger. And pheasant and dove egg cartons, because they're slightly larger. So the issue you have with having quail with large eggs, and large is relative, right? I mean, there's emu, ostrich, and quail. They have a fairy egg of quail. So just for those that don't have quail, when I was raising quail, Coturnix quail is the breed, Japanese quail. They're the ones that you raise for eggs and meat. And the size of the egg that I had, that I was raising, for that size, compared to a large size chicken egg, and this is based on weight, and by looking up what a large size chicken egg is by weight, it is 3 yolks and 4 whites to 1 egg, one chicken egg. So that's your ratio. I just end up just doing 4 to 1 because I don't care about having extra yolk usually. So they're more yolk heavy than chicken eggs are, compared to them, like how much is in the, like, a ratio. So having those eggs that are larger it's awesome, but it's very difficult to find egg cartons for them. One thing you can do is to put the big ones on the outside of the egg carton, the bigger ones on the outside, and then the smaller ones in the inside. And But I would look up pheasant. I have a bunch of egg cartons from when I moved them with me, from when I had them. And what I ended up doing, most of mine fit in them. And I don't remember what I looked up. It was a couple of years ago. I bought a bunch of them. Um, what I ended up doing is I ate the big ones. The big ones I keep for me because it doesn't fit in the carton. And the ones that fit in the carton go to the person who's buying them. So that's what I did. It's not, I mean, if you have a business out of it, it's not a real workaround. And maybe you can sell an odds and ends strawberry basket, you know. You can have, how they have like ugly fruit boxes or something like that. You can sell something like that maybe. But unfortunately, I haven't seen any good answer. And I know Verna, and then I don't know if Steve's on here or not, but have you guys seen any? So I'm a moderator in a couple of Facebook groups for quail. One is Quail for Profit, and one is Self-Sufficient Quail. And Verna and Steve, my moderators, are also moderators in other quail Facebook groups. So, and if anybody else is on, like if Gaydrow's Family Farm is on here, I don't know because it's in the future. If you guys know of any good places to get cartons from, let us know. And then the other thing to consider is, I'm talking plastic cartons because that's what is available. There are places that make like cardboard cartons, but they're so expensive. They're so expensive. It's really financially, it's not worth it unless you have a clientele that will be able to support that. So I don't know if that wasn't a good answer. Sorry, Bruce, but it kind of gives you an idea of that. And yeah, if you are one to be an inventor and invent this, there is a need. There is a big need. If you can have readily available, inexpensive cartons for jumbo eggs for quail, that's your $1 million idea. Like that's your business idea that will work because people are looking for that. So just so people know, like a lot of the people who raise quail, we raise them for two reasons. One is meat and one is eggs. And it's good to do the same for both. Now there are jumbos. A jumbo is one that is somebody tell me. I accidentally said 10 pounds once, and it's not 10 pounds. 10 ounces? Grams? I don't remember if it was ounces or grams. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's 10 of those. At 10 weeks. And then the standard size is just smaller than that. And standard sized birds can have larger eggs. It all depends on what you're breeding for. So if you're going to go after new breeders, let's say, often people will say, oh, they have this many gram eggs. Like this is how big the egg is, typically. A lot of breeders will have that. And so you can order eggs from them to hatch, and they will all be approximately the same size. Now, I can tell you the ones in the store, the quail eggs in the store, it's been a long time since I saw quail eggs in the store. I haven't seen them here. But when I was in California, there was quail eggs in the store, and they sell them for ridiculously low prices because they're doing it en masse. And the eggs in there are so freaking tiny. Whereas, Bruce, we're talking about there being a real need in the quail community for larger cartons. The ones that you get in the stores, they don't even fit the carton. They're smaller than what the carton is. So that's another selling point if you are trying to sell your eggs and you're like, oh yeah, I get them at the store. Well, how big are they? Because they're going to be smaller because they have to fit in that carton, and two, you're usually so much smaller. Like you could go like this and rattle them. So All right, I'm going to continue down, and then we'll probably go back to that. We'll see what Verna and if Steve's on here, what they say. Thank you, Verna, for putting the link. Become a member. Join Katrina's Kits. Erica, if you're listening, I need your recipe. If I don't have it, I'm going to make it up. I think I know what we were going to make, so I'm gonna have to find a recipe if I don't get it from you soon. Okay. Missy says, nice book, For the Love of Soil by Nicole Masters. Gotta have good dirt. Maybe you'll talk about dirt sometime. Yes, absolutely. I think last time we talked about the mycorrhizae in the soil and how good that is. That's mycorrhizae is a fungus. I'm not going to go through all that we talked about last week, but I did assign homework, and I know one person did it. Misty, I can assign you the same homework, and that is to watch the video "What Plants Talk About." It's on YouTube. It's like 45 minutes, 50 minutes long, something like that, and it's awesome. It's by Nature. If you guys remember that from PBS or Nature, I don't know. It's a good one, but it talks a lot about that. But soil and what soil, so that's the life in soil. So soil and dirt are different. Dirt is it so there's three main parts of dirt. One is sand, loam, and clay. Sand is the coarsest, the biggest, and clay is the smallest. And they have different properties. So like clay has a negative charge. It holds on to nutrients because of the charge of it. And I think the charge is negative, but it holds on to lots of nutrients in it, but it also holds on to lots of water. So Misty, that's what we have here. That's what I had in Gilroy too, is a high clay content. And when you have high clay content, there are a few things to watch out for. And one, clay is great. It's great to have because it holds on to those nutrients. It's great to have because it holds on to the water. It's also not great to have because it holds on to the water, because it can hold on to too much water. And so that's the positive and negative with that. Sand is on the opposite side of the spectrum, and sand is very coarse. It has very good drainage. It does not hold water well. I mean, it does hold water well enough for quail poop to stink. Do not use sand as your substrate in your quail house, please, unless you have absolute positively assurance that it will not get wet. But sand has really good drainage. So plants that are have root rot, if they're inundated with too much soil, or plants that need more airy stuff. So like citrus doesn't like sand, but they like more sandy, the sandy side, right? They're more aerated side, and more air gets into the ground with sand. With sand, you can dig a hole. There you go. With clay, if you dig a hole, you're basically making a pot. So if you think about forming a pot, like a clay pot, you are making something that can be waterproof. So you may be making yourself a problem. The way to alleviate that, if you are digging to plant a tree or digging to plant something, is you basically take a shovel or take something and stab into that hole. So you can dig how you regularly dig, and then just stab into it, because what that does is it creates micro fissures that go down through there, and the water can go through and the roots can go through, and you're not creating an impenetrable thing. So where gardening is, usually for most plants, they like somewhere in between. So like somewhere in the loam. So it could be a sandy loam, it could be a clayey loam. Clayey is a word. I don't know if it's a Scrabble word, but it is a word. And most plants fall in between there somewhere. So I would say where Misty and I live, it's more on a clay. So it's a clayey loam. Depending on where you are, it's all clay. And so that's dirt, right? That's the dirt part of it. Where soil comes in is the life, the microbes, the fungus, the little critters, little buggies, what the humus, so the organic material that's added in, that then becomes the soil. And so when you are starting, let's say you're starting a bed of soil for in a garden, you're starting a new garden. It takes 3 to 5 years in my experience, and other gardeners on here, maybe Shawnee, you can chime in here. Anybody else who's gardening, Howie, Vern, I don't know if you haven't done raised beds maybe recently, but I don't know if you've done in the past. But when you do that, it does take about 3 to 5 years for it to kind of equalize and become like really good. And it takes that long because you're turning something into something with life. And when I make my beds, I also add native soil in because it has those components that make it with the clay, it holds on to the nutrients. With sand, don't put a whole bunch of sand in your bed. I can say that, unless you want to grow peas. Um, and it will have a really, really good effect if you mix in some soil, or if you just include some and then put the other stuff on top of it, and then worms will do the mixing for you at length. So what you have going on there is you have the building blocks of the soil and a starting point, and you add to that. You can add the answer to any question is add organic material. If there's a problem, add organic material. And it doesn't have to be compost. It can be compost. It can be leaves. It can be, it can be a multitude of things. But the answer is add compost. So your soil is sandy. It's too well draining. We need it to hold water. What do? You add organic material. You add, wood chips over it and then let that decompose. You add compost to it. You add some sort of organic material, and that will help your sand retain more moisture. Over to the clay. It holds too much soil. It holds too much water. Add organic material, and that will lessen how much water is in the actual ground there. So once these systems get worked in, basically a whole city has been built, a whole city of microbes and bacteria and fungus, a fungal network with the mycelium mycorrhizae. And that becomes, basically think of it as a city. There's high-rise buildings in there. There's lots of roads. There's, Jetsons, multi-passes and stuff like that. And so when you have that in place, it works really well. All of the nutrients are going on along these routes. The fungus is set up as a highway to reach out and get nutrients and bring it back to plants and all of that. So that's why in gardening we've gone to a no-till or low-till method that has been gaining popularity for a long time. And that's the reason, is because you have all that structure there. It's not just, oh, it's some dirt, but you have all that structure there. And so if you till it, it has to build the structure back before it can be helpful to your plants. It'll be somewhat helpful to your plants, but hopefully that makes sense, that the systems have to recover before it's really, really beneficial to your plants. So I don't know. Hopefully that went into some stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. As Bruce says, we're random here. All right. 5-gallon buckets are the bomb. Yep. 29 this morning. See, Misty, I don't know what it was here. I'm lower than you, so you might be colder than me. It'd be nice to know how much lower I am than you at the house. But I know it went to freezing because the rabbits froze. And I know it was below freezing because when it goes to freezing, the rabbit water doesn't freeze. But my indoor, like the thing that tells me what the temperature is for the thing that's outside, stopped working. So, but yeah, 29 sounds about right. Yep. All right. Abella says, how often has everyone had successful versus unsuccessful time kindlings with their first rabbits? I'm going to lower my expectation. Is it like 50-50, 75% good, 80% bad? So Abella is asking, she has a rabbit that she's going to breed. So you're going to breed and then you're going to check like 12 hours later, right? So hopefully he stays for a second date. Because if you see them breed, have 3 fall offs at least, and then check 12 hours later, meaning put her back in with him, always bring her to him, put her back in with him. And if you need to kind of think about, oh, who do I bring to who, you say he has to clean his room because she's coming over. He has to clean his room. I take everything out of my buck's hutch just because I don't want anybody to get it hurt because things can get wild. But by checking them, she will reject him if she's pregnant or if she thinks she's pregnant. She will reject him. If she lifts for him again, then that likely means she was not bred the first time. And then 12 hours from then, it doesn't have to be exact, but 12 hours from then, you check again. The act makes them ovulate. So that's why you do 3 and not just 1, because the act makes them ovulate. So it's very few days that they don't actually, that they are not open to that, but there are some days. So yeah, so that is something that I have not experienced any negatives with. All of my mamas have been really, really good. I have heard about mamas that have been confused about what to do. They have their litter on the wire. They have their, they don't know what to do with the babies and they end up recycling the nutrients. There can be some behaviors of first-time mom rabbits that can be quite jarring if you are not prepared for it. So I would say the things that you need to prepare for is, 1, keep track of the days. So as soon as you confirm her, the date that she was bred, so confirming, and then the date that she was bred, whether it's the same day or the day before, put that on the calendar. Count, I do 27 days. Count 27 days, put that on the calendar. That's when the nest box goes in. Day 30 or 31 is when she should have her kits. Now, I am not familiar with the breed you have, so it might be a different day. But 30 or 31 is about when they have their kits. If by day 35 she doesn't have kits, then that's when you rebreed. Now, I wait an extra day, but you rebreed because she wasn't pregnant. Sometimes you can tell they're pregnant. Sometimes you can't. They can hide a pregnancy very, very well if they don't have 12 babies in them. But the things you should be prepared to know is, or the things that you should know to be prepared is, you may walk out there and there may be a bunch of babies on the wire not alive. So you need to know that could be a possibility because she might not know to put it in the nest box. Sometimes their first baby's born on the wire and then the rest are inside. You also need to be prepared. Number 1, they do eat the placenta. So if you see, it's like floppy, it's very unattractive. But they do eat the placenta, so be prepared to see that. Also be prepared to see them eat any of them that don't make it. They do recycle the nutrients, and that's what I mean by recycling nutrients on the videos. They do eat it. So it is just the way it is. If you think about them, they are a prey animal, which means if they have a baby that didn't make it, leaving it there is not going to be good. It's going to have rot. It's going to, if they leave it in the nest box, it's going to end up stealing the warmth of the live ones, because it'll be cold, and then it'll have to heat it with their body heat. And so the other thing to look for is that they don't have that there isn't a dead one in the nest box. So I always take them out and check them. I check to make sure all their limbs are okay. It's just a very quick check, and make sure there's no dead ones in there, and then put them back, close them back up, and then later that day, if you may see it, but later that day, check them again and make sure they have poochy bellies. Make sure that they've been fed, because if her milk hasn't come in, they will die without milk. So a substitute for that is goat milk. I had, so Meatball was one of my mama bunnies. She was actually the best mama bunny. Still, she was the best mama. And she ended up dying in childbirth, leaving behind 8 live babies. I didn't know what I was doing. I had heard kitten replacement milk is something you can get at the vet. Not at the vet. You probably could get it there, at the pet store. And that's what I was told to use. I was also told to use makeup sponges instead of the bottles, because the bottles are too big and they can asphyxiate. Is that how you say it? If they have too much milk at once. And that worked with the makeup sponges. It worked really well. It was very time consuming. And they're so tiny. And the bottles basically are too big for kittens. If anybody has experience with the bottles that worked great, let me know. So far, I have not heard anything other than that. You can use them later when they're older, like for kittens. But goat milk. So I actually have some powdered goat milk that they actually had at the local store, the teeny tiny store here, in the pantry, just in case now. Kitten replacement milk does not have enough fat for rabbits. And I did not know that. And I believe that's probably why they didn't make it. And some people add whipping cream. I don't know what the right thing is to do. I just know goat milk is the closest milk that we have access to, that closest to rabbit. So I'm just giving you a bunch of information. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully you're retaining stuff. But I would say don't necessarily expect everything to be not working. Just be prepared that you might be prepared for the things you might have to see or deal with. All right, here we go. Howie says, some flooding today, and the neighbor's property had to sandbag her driveway, raining like never seen before. You are in Canada? Oh, that's right. The atmospheric river is going north. It was supposed to hit us, and instead it went north. Okay. Good luck. Good luck. That's all I can say, I guess. Man, yeah, that Washington and parts of Canada have gotten pretty hit this year, or this season. Yeah. Shawnee says, have you grown sorghum before to make syrup? I have not, and I am thinking about doing that here now that I have property. Shawnee, my old property, which is what, so Unique runs the channel Urban Gardener. That's what it is, Urban Gardener. And that's where Shawnee's coming here from. So I used to have a place in Gilroy, California, 7,000 square foot lot, and I did a lot on there. I didn't go into grains, and I didn't go into, well, I can't say I didn't go into sugar. I did plant sugarcane, and it just got out of control, and I didn't have a good way to process it, because sugarcane, you can't just use a regular juicer to juice it. You have to do different steps. It needs its own stuff, and I wasn't willing to deal with it at the time. But now that I have more space, I do want to do stuff like sorghum and like quinoa and what's the other one that starts with the A? I don't remember what it is. Anyway, I want to do more of that. But yeah, I have not done that. Okay, so Verna's telling Abella if you have 3 fall-offs, then recheck them. Yeah, yep, by giving them another date. Yeah. Big difference in is how many they have their first litter. Okay. Yeah. So Verna raised Havana rabbits. She doesn't anymore, but she used to raise Havana rabbits. Yeah. Not exactly last letter. Okay. More a week ago today. Okay. All right. All right. So Bruce says I've been doing deep litter for years with my chickens. You're preaching to the choir. Hey, we'll keep on doing it. Make sure it's super deep. Deep litter. Yeah, the thing is with chickens, they turn it by themselves. The quail don't. All right. Joy's here. Welcome, Joy. Hello, all from Western Oregon. Did you get sun today? We've got sun the last 2 days. It's been like, oh, what's that thing in the sky? It's all up by Howie now. Welcome. Robin Gardens, welcome. Hello from Chicagoland. Oh my gosh, are you cold? Wait, are you guys getting heat right now? Isn't the center of the country getting heat? By heat, I mean like heat. Hopefully everything's going good over there. I'm guessing you're a gardener, but welcome, welcome. Let us know what you're doing over there. All right. And Bella's also in the Chicagoland area. There you go. See, you guys can meet, have some fun. All right. Brenna's having trouble typing. Oh. All right. Howie's heading off to bed, it looks like. Good night, Earthlings. Great days to everyone. Yes. Good evening, and thanks for coming. So Verna says try my share. I think we were talking about the egg cartons. Do they sell the cartons? I didn't know they sold cartons. Because I know his advice was to put the big ones around the outside. But yeah, try my shire farm in Ohio, and that's where I got most of my quail from when I was in Gilroy. Good people, good family-run business. They're good. So yeah, try my share. All right. Thank you for the link, Verna. Okay, and Verna is so we're going back to the quail egg conversation that we were talking about earlier. Verna uses a 4th cup quail eggs per large chicken egg. So you actually measure it out. I don't. I just go. Bloop, bloop. And if you don't have, I'm not talking to you, Bruce. You already have quail. Do you already have quail? I don't know. Maybe I'm talking to you. If you don't already have quail egg scissors, get quail egg scissors. And let me know if I need to show you what that is because it's just in the kitchen and I can show you guys. Okay. Everybody's saying hi. All right. Bruce says a strawberry carton, etc. idea for jumbo quail eggs is a great idea. I'm full of great ideas, right? I don't know if I am or not. 18 grams. 18 grams. 10 ounces? I don't know. Sunshine at Robin's. Awesome. Oh, okay. So Verna's talking about hatching eggs. I wasn't talking about hatching eggs. I was talking about the size of the bird. But yeah, so if the eggs are over 20 grams, they usually do not hatch. Got it. Yeah, you don't want to put big ones in. You don't want to put round ones in the incubator. You don't want to put funky ones in. Yeah, stick with the regular looking ones or the ones that fit in your egg carton. Yeah, you can breed it out maybe. Breed it down. All right, you got to figure out which egg belongs to who. Good luck. Oh, Robin says lovely sunshine improves the mood. Yep. Oh, Verna, Erica's supposed to get me the recipe for the Cook With Me Live for this month. We talked about it on last month's Cook With Me Live. So I think I know what she's wanting, but she was supposed to send me a recipe. So we're calling Erica out. She won't mind. All right. Shawnee says, yes, the sun was blaring in the sky today. Finally, the fog and clouds cleared. Yes. Yep. And same at Verna's. Okay, we're just having sunny days. We're just sending all our weather to poor Howie up there. Oh my gosh. All right. Verna's at 6B. Robin's at 5B. We're going on to USDA planting zones. Here is 8B, which is one colder than where I was in California. So, yeah. Clay cool road. I think it's Clay and then EY, actually. But you can check me on that, and I don't know if it's Scrabble word. Yeah, Clay E. Bruce says, you're so true about building soil. I don't grow plants, I grow soil. The result is wonderful harvest. And that's exactly what I'm saying about using deep litter. You do have to have it rest, because if you do deep litter and you have birds, then it's still going to be like, even though it's been in there for a year, maybe 2 years, you still have a high amount of ammonia, because you have birds actively on it. So it does have to sit a while, maybe 6 months, depending on where you are. So I kind of don't like advising how long to sit, because it depends on like your moisture, are there microbes around that eats through things, all of that. Now, if you put your if you have an incubator and then you put them in the brooder, and you have them in the brooder and there's poo, you can, if you have soldier fly larvae, you can actually feed that to the soldier fly larvae, and and their frass, which is what you call poop, insect poop, will be able to use right away. You don't have to let it sit after that. But if it's just poo, you have to sit it. If you have rabbits, that can go straight on the garden. So lots to learn. Okay. But yeah, if you're gardening, do deep litter and use that in the garden. Verna says, I grow in pots. I put the leavings of the roots and such in the pots for next year. Yep. And Robin says, definitely need native soil in the mix. I started with Mel's mix in my beds. I don't know that one. But I've modified that over the years. Here in the northwest burbs of Chicago, I have pretty good soil, but on the clay side. Yeah, and being on the clay side is fine, as long as you have the organic material in there to help it out. Yeah. Oh, good point. Verna is putting out a good point. She's asking, Robin, have you checked the updated zones? I think you may now be in 6A. So the USDA planting zones, it's a hardiness zone. So it doesn't say anything except for it probably will get this cold. That's all it says. But that's what we base how things live. It doesn't say how hot it is. It doesn't say how humid it is. It doesn't say when your planting date is or anything like that. It just says this is how cold we expect it to get in your area. And that was updated in 2023. So if you haven't looked at it since 2023, go ahead and look it up again. You can look it up by your zip code, and you may have changed. Now, in some areas it did get colder, and in most areas it got warmer. So we are experiencing a changing climate, and it is getting warmer in most places, colder in some, and so that they reflected that. They update it, I think, every, I want to say 10 years, but I don't remember. Yeah. Okay, so Robin's in 5B was 5A's. Okay. Yeah. Shawnee says, organic matter is your best friend in the garden. Absolutely. Leaves, leaf mold, grass clippings, dried seaweed, mushroom compost, worm castings when planting help feed the soil, help feed the soil food web and amend cover crops used correctly are really good to help your soil the minimum of 1 year to really see structural change in soil and have nutrients bioavailable. Each organic matter has its own clock. Yes, amaranth. That's what I was thinking. Thank you, Robin. Oh, millet. I love millet. Have you guys ever actually had millet? It's so tasty. So tasty. Sorghum, amaranth, millet, buckwheat, all fun to explore. There are so many different types of buckwheat too. There's so many different types. But yeah, millet is so tasty. I don't know how fun it is to harvest, but it's so tasty. Oh my gosh. So, okay. Yeah, so they're making your dirt into soil is a pretty cool process. It's very cool. Another thing you can do for those people without very much room, this is something I did in my Gilroy place in California before I moved here, is I had more wood chips. Well, okay, I had mud. This idea came out of mud, and I needed something to sop up the mud. And wood chips act like a sponge. So they're used in permaculture all over the place because it's like a slow release for your water. But you can make bark chip pathways, wood chip pathways, like chip whole trees, and put it on the ground, thick. And that it smells so good depending on the tree, right? And it's nice and cushy, but then it will compact and it will actually go away. But it will feed, if you have trees there, it will feed, the roots will be underneath your wood chips and it will feed that area as it decomposes. So you'll get, and so you can either scrape off the top, collect that compost, put it in your garden beds or under your trees or whatever, or you can just keep on adding layers. And that's what Mother Earth does in the forest is you have a layer of duff or litter. There's other words, I'm sure, for different kinds of forests. And something I talked about, I think this was last week, is that maybe not last week, but here I don't have very much duff on the ground at all, whereas a mature forest would, and that's because this property has been logged. So when I do my food forest, I'm going to be chipping as much as I can and putting that on the ground, and that will help to kind of fix what's going on with the soil. So yeah, provide it cover. Okay, amaranth is fun to grow, Verna says. Quail are weighed in ounces, eggs, and grams. Why do we do this to ourselves? Okay, so a jumbo quail would be 10 ounces at 10 weeks old. And a standard quail would be less than that at 10 weeks old. But the eggs, a standard quail can have large eggs. A jumbo quail can have small eggs. It just depends how they're bred. Oh, yes, you weren't. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Hey, my dad's here. Yeah, the glasses that I haven't worn in forever that I probably should wear. It's such a low prescription. And it's only in one eye. Miriam got me that. It's a plant holder, but I have it holding other things right now. A planter, not a plant holder. Plant holders are called planters, guys. I'll put them on. All right. Welcome. All right. Well, my dad just came on. What do you want to talk about? Yeah, so we spanned the stuff here. Now I was on Guido's Family Farm, their live chat a couple weeks ago. I think it was a couple weeks ago, and I won something, and I unpackaged it, but then it was like this, so I was like, I'll open it on here. Let's see what it is, because I actually don't know. I just put I showed up late to their thing, and they're like, oh, we're doing a drawing, put this in. I'm like, sure, I'll put that in there. So I actually don't know what it is. I haven't been paying attention enough. I probably should know, right? When is this month's Cook With Me Live? That's what I need the recipe for, so I can have that. So if you are a member, like Verna is talking about, if you're a channel member, we do a monthly Cook With Me Live, and it is either on Saturday or Sunday at 12:30. And so I will be putting up, there is a Facebook group for channel members, and the Facebook group, I'll have a poll in there to find out when people want to do it. Erica, we're just talking about you. Send me recipes tonight, please, so I can get it out. Thank you. Or at least tell me what it was, and I can look up recipes if you don't already have them. Thank you. So yeah, it is a Cook With Me Live, and it is a me in my kitchen, you and yours, and we don't have the date yet. But if you have a date that does not work, let me know, and we can go from there. Hello, Erica. My dad says, my life revolves around Remy. Remy's a dog. Probably no interest to anybody here. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. There might be some interest. Hoppin' John. I have no idea what that is. Let's look it up. I just made you guys small. Come back. Hoppin' John and cornbread. This is stuff that's supposed to be good luck for us to start the day, start the thing? Okay. Let's just see. I just cooked the first one. I'll go through a few recipes. Good luck food. Okay. Got it. So I will tonight. Where'd you guys go? There you are. Okay, thank you, Erica. I will put up ingredients tonight then, and then I will also do the voting for which day. So, and Jacob just came on too. He's a member. Erica, you got to become a member again so you can do it with us. She had a different card. Okay, we will do that. All right, Jacob's here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I missed some conversations. Okay, Verna says, Hoppin' John is a traditional Southern American and African American dish of black-eyed peas and rice, often cooked with pork like bacon or ham hock, and seasonings, famously eaten on New Year's Day for good luck and prosperity, symbolizing coins for the coming year. Oh, you tried to post it? I'm not currently on it, so it's okay. All right. Well, we got it now. Let me just check that real quick and see. Let's see. I got your message that says I'll try again. If it was a link, you just copy and paste the link. Otherwise, I can go with what I can find. All right. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, so we wanted to do something that was good luck. So Erica came up with this on our last live, and I was like, yes, send me the stuff. So it's like, okay. Oh, the pork is because pigs only root going forward. Okay. I was going to say pork's not my favorite, but you know what? I like bacon. Yeah. Okay, Verna I already looked up a recipe, but I will look up that recipe too. Which I need to get to my other thing to get to. Is it not here? There we go. Okay. I will look at those and see. Where did you guys go? This is what happens when I start going back and forth. Okay, Jacob says, would you have any recommendations for places to order blueberry, raspberry, or strawberry plants from? Jacob, where are you? You're in Wisconsin? I've only gone to the nursery, so I haven't ordered them, but um anybody have suggestions on ordering those things? Because I haven't ordered them. I've always just gotten what's at the nursery and northeastern Wisconsin. Yeah. So anybody know anything about that? I will say I've ordered honeyberries from Michigan Bulb, and I will never order from them again. Both me and my neighbor at the old place, we ordered a bunch of stuff from them one time, and none of it grew. Like it lived, but none of it produced, none of it grew. And it's just like, really? Both of us are having issues from multiple species. We're not getting it from them anymore. So that's the only thing I would caution you against. Um, I would go to your nursery. Honestly, so how many are you going to get? Are you just going to get a few? Because if you're just going to get a few, go to the nursery, go to Tractor Supply, go to whatever, know the varieties you want. And a lot of, I mean, Tractor Supply and feed stores, they will carry a lot of good known varieties. Um, but yeah, I haven't ordered any. Sorry, let's see what people see. Okay, Erica says I use purple holes because I can't stand black-eyed peas. Purple holes. Purple holes. I don't even know what that is. It's a band. Okay, we'll look that up later. Okay. My dad says we had layered chicken casserole for dinner tonight, substituted rabbit for the chicken. Awesome. It was good. Yeah. So if you're raising rabbit, or if your daughter raises rabbit, uh, you can substitute rabbit in for chicken in any recipe. Um, it's cooked as like skinless chicken. So yeah, yeah. Stark Brothers. Okay, I know about Stark Brothers, but I don't have any personal experience with them. I've heard good things. So Robin is saying Stark Brothers. Stark Brothers, they seem pretty expensive. Is it worth it for them? That's another question I have. If you have firsthand experience, they just seem really expensive. They have like sales, but they have sales all the time. Um, yeah. Jacob says Miss Ava wants to plant more this year. Awesome. What is more? Is it 5 or is it like 20? Okay, Verna's heard good things about Stark Brothers too. I've heard good things. I just don't have any personal experience. Purple Hull Peas. Purple Hull. It's a band. All right, I'm continuing to open this thing that I won from Guido's Family Farm. It's egg holder. So, oh, little puzzle piece looks like. I gotta find the end of it. I don't like saran wrap. I don't know where the end is. Okay, here's where the knife comes out again. Stark Brothers, all good for fruit, but we have like 5 dots after that. So what comes after the dots, Robin? Is there a and instead of yes and? Is it a and but? Jacob says, I know what it is. Did you make this, Jacob? I know you do woodworking, and I know you guys talk stuff. It's very secure. It's more secure than it needs to be. You did. Okay. Jacob, how surprised are you to see this on here? Or did you know that I won the other day? That's pretty funny. Okay, so Jacob made this, and I won it from Guido's Family Farm. And it looks like a little puzzle. Oops. Oh, it's on the bottom. See if it fits. There we go. What kind of wood is this? You didn't realize you won it? Or I won it? All right. I should put another layer up here. That way you could have double stack. I don't have any quail right now, so I don't know why I'm putting it together. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 3 is how many eggs this fits. That's a tight fit. Am I putting it together right? It's a poplar veneer plywood. Poplar, not popular, but it could be popular too. All right. Oh, one more. All right, there we go. And it sits on the counter like that. And then you have your eggs. I would even put another layer up there. That would work. Very cool, Jacob. Thank you for making this. Small world. Very close tolerance. Exactly. Pretty small world though, huh? All right. So, oh, they stack. Ah, that's what that is for. So they can stack. Very good. Good. Oh, Verna did the math. I wasn't going to do the math. I was just going to give you that information. 24. 24 is what it fits. Oh, let's go up here. Robin says typing one-handed fractured shoulder. How did you do that? That sounds not fun. And I hope you recover quickly. Ooh. Yeah, as Verna says, ouch. Hope you heal good. Oh my gosh. You know, I was in a bike accident. This stupid lady parked. I don't know if you guys know Mountain View, California, but I was riding my bike from the light rail to my grandma's house. And I did my master's in San Jose. And so I would ride the light rail back and forth. And I was riding the bike, and this lady who was not, I was riding fast because I was trying to get something. And this lady had parked on the side, but not in a parking spot, like in front of a door, and opened her door on me. And I hit the brake and went over. I had a helmet on, hit my helmet, and I was okay. My bike was not. After that was fixed, I had $70 in the bank account. And that is sprained thumb, which I still have issues today from. So yeah, do all the things you can do to get better and to maintain flexibility and motion and all of that. Yeah. Bone broth. That'll be good for that. Yeah. Yeah, one of these days, not now, not for probably several years. One of these days I'm going to do a video, $70 to 70 acres, because I'm almost on 70 acres now. And that story I told you took my bank account down to $70. That was a long time ago. Don't look for it soon. It's happening a lot later. Oh boy. All right. Let's see where you are. Ooh, Robin says, trying to help a fallen lady on Christmas Day. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That really sucks. I mean, it sucks either way, but you're trying to do something good and then you got punished for it. Really. Man. Tea break. I just realized I hadn't had any tea yet. So, yeah. All right. So this is a clue that maybe I'll get stuff done to get quail, huh? There's a lot of things ahead of the quail. But maybe this means this year we will start on the structure where the quail will end up. Maybe that's the goal. We'll put this out for a reminder. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, quail. I miss having quail. And really just watching them, watching them in their natural environment, and where I want to, what I want to do with them, and where I want them to be. I think it's going to be really, really a cool thing. So yeah, they'll be much more naturey. We'll see how that works as far as finding eggs, but it'll be a low density, um, but it will be still a good amount, but a low density, and it'll be good. Yeah. Am I planning to hatch chickens this spring? Yes. So I have fencing to do. I have some emails I need to do to figure out what I'm doing for fencing. And then I need to do the fencing. So number one on the list is going to be, it's probably going to be the garden, actually. Garden's not number one that needs to get done, but garden's going to be the easiest one to start. So it makes sense to get in the groove on the easy one. So I'll probably start with the garden and then go to the rabbit area, which is where the chicken run is. I have 2 chickens. They moved with me from California with their sister, who is no longer with us. And well, she's with us. She's just under a tree. And they are still in the coop. They get sun. They get, all that. I don't think they know the difference because the coop is literally like the same size or larger than the space they were in before. It's just they can't see. Well, they can see out, but they can't see out from the ground. So having that open and then having them have some freedom underneath the rabbits, that would be good. But with that, I need to make some phone calls before I do that because I want to put a roof on that area, but I don't know exactly what that looks like. How much of it will be like netting versus roofing versus whether I just extend the roof out from the rabbits over that area. So there's some planning to go that. But then once that area is done, with this property, I am really concentrating on not getting animals until the space for them is done. Because it's so easy. It's so easy, and I've done it before. Getting animals and saying, "Oh, this has to be in the brooder for 4 weeks once it's born or once it hatches, or this has to be in the brooder for this many, whatever," and I'll have it ready by then. No, you won't. No, you won't, because something's going to happen and it's going to get in the way of your timing and it's going to be setting you back, and you're going to have to go to the hardware store 50 million times and all that. So I'm trying to learn from my experience and actually limit myself to having do the actionable step after I am prepared to accept whatever it is. So that's why I don't have a dog yet. That's why I didn't hatch chickens last year. But yeah, I do plan on having more chickens. I have 2 girls right now. Smilo laid some eggs sporadically this year. Over after I think is done laying eggs. They're 5 years old. I want to say they're 5 years old on St. Patrick's Day. That's when they hatched. And so they're really not they're not reliable layers anymore. And so I plan on hatching some. I have a plan for that. So yeah. Yep. I will be doing that. But yeah, so those are the first 2 that will be at fenced. And then probably I'll jump over to where the bees are going to be, just because of timing and hopefully within that time, I will have become a pro at fencing and be able to do it quickly. Getting someone out here to do it professionally, no. No. For the garden area and the chicken area, they wanted over $9,000. I know how much the stuff costs, the actual materials cost, and labor is super expensive anyway. It's going to be the most expensive thing for anything you do, but that's a lot to spend on fencing that isn't even the biggest fence that's going to be up. So, yeah. So my plan is to do that, do trees this year for the food forest, or at least part of the trees. And then the fencing for the food forest will start maybe this year, maybe next year. It's a slower process than I want. I know Verna keeps on saying, don't be hard on yourself. That's not what Verna sounds like. But, I want it to be done already. So anyway, that is the plan. That's where we're headed. And then after food forest stuff, or during, if I can get it worked out, would be I've been calling it high tunnel. That's not going to be in the name. It's going to be more like a wapani, I think. And that will be where my warmer trees and fruits and foods will grow, and that will also be where the quail will be. So, yeah. And then I'm also planning on having a bachelor pad hutch, not hutch, aviary in the for quail in the food forest. I'm hoping it's far enough away that they don't really hear each other and they're maybe quieter. We'll see how that works for grow outs, for the grow out males. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah. So, anyway. All right. Jacob's going to bed. Good night, all. Heading off to bed early tonight. All right. All right. Have you written your list and prioritized it? Yes. Yes, I have, Verna. Yep. I have. So I did that that video for goals for 2026. And then inside that I have sub like what needs to be done to reach those goals in order. And I'm already late. I'm already late on calling places because I've had to do other things, um, you know, like work. But yeah, I have. And here's the thing about owning property of any kind is your priorities. Excuse me. Your priorities will change. It will. It will change. Um, it just will. And you have to be okay with that. And you have to say, okay, these are my priorities. These ones I will not change, but these other ones, they might become flexible. So, yeah, priorities do change. But if you have it listed out and you have your steps to get there, then you'll be more successful, I think. So, yeah, we're halfway through January. Yeah, I should be done. I should be contacting a few more people than I have. What's that song in the Christmas claymation thing? Where the reindeer are singing, "There's always tomorrow for dreams to come true." You guys know that one? There's always tomorrow for dreams to come true. Tomorrow is not far away. Something like that. Anyway, there you go. Nobody remembers this, huh? Ooh. What? Wait, Verna. Freezer was removed yesterday. Freeze dryer is next to go. You're getting rid of it? I need to go back and watch your lives. Why are you getting rid of your freeze dryer? That's a lot. Yeah. Um Yeah, having a freezer is good, and having a freeze dryer is good too. You know, freeze dry lots of things. I haven't been running mine because I keep expecting electrical stuff, and I have things that I want to freeze dry. Like I was going to freeze dry the potage vongole soup that I made, but I was like, well, I don't want to interrupt it in the middle of a run, so I'll can it um, without the cream and go from there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, Verna. She says we can't grow enough food or are allowed to have animals. The main reasons about the freeze dryer. Yeah, that's right. You had quail and rabbits and cooey at that time, huh? Well, that sucks. I'm sorry. I hope you get a good amount for it. And maybe you can convince them to freeze dry stuff for you as a part of the selling point. Yeah. Well, I have rabbit in the refrigerator that's cooked. So I've been making stuff out of that. Oftentimes, when you grow your own meat, you know, there's people get excited about doing, especially like with rabbit, that they get excited about doing like fancy recipes and like these French recipes and stuff. And most of the time, uh, what I do is I pressure cook it and pull off the meat, and then I use the meat very quickly in things. Canning it's also good. Vern says it is sad, but you have to clean out what no longer serves you. That is true. That is true. Yep. Yep. Hmm. Well, tomorrow's video, which I did not talk about yet. Um, tomorrow's video, there was a predation attempt on the homestead, and so it'll show the predation attempt. It won't show the attempt itself. I did not get that on camera, but it will talk about that. So that is tomorrow's video, and then I kind of go back and forth between bunny video and canning video for Thursday. So I don't know which one we'll see, but kind of thinking maybe canning because there's been a lot of bunny stuff, and I have more bunny. I have more bunny videos. So yeah, um, yeah. Excuse me. And to be contagious. Instead of to be continued, to be contagious. Um, when is next litter due date? So I put in nest boxes. Well, I was supposed to do Saturday, but I did Sunday. So Saturday was day 27, Sunday's 28, Monday 29. So tomorrow night or Wednesday night, I believe somebody's due. But to be honest, it could be 3 or 4 days further from that because ravioli just kept on missing. So um, this week, this week. This is a case where I just like I'm gonna put it in for the earliest possible because I don't know what's going on with her. She never got confirmed, like three dates and no confirmation. I'm like, okay, let's be done with this silliness and hopefully she's pregnant. Now she did when I gave her the nest box yesterday, she did jump in and shove everything out very industriously, like she does. So I think, yeah, I think she does that. When is Percy's next date? It's gonna be this week, I think. I gotta look and see how old Penne and Risotto's babies are, but they're more than 3 weeks old at this point, I think. So it'll be this week some point. I'll look at the dates. But yeah, it'll be this week. Percy, it's funny because he has been a little stinky boy sometimes. He does his little musk things. I don't really know what to call it. I don't know that it is actually musk, but it's, his stinky boy times. And yeah, so he's ready, which makes me wonder if he's sensing that they are ready. So, yeah. Yep, so those are the babies and the breedings that are happening. And then so if the babies are 3 weeks old, they have 2 more weeks before they go into their into the uh, rabbit tractors. I did not build the rabbit tractor this weekend because I had other stuff come up. Um, like I said, reprioritizing, right? But I do need to do that in the next 2 weeks. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be soon. My carport, which is literally like the only flat place to to build with electricity. That's not literally, but almost literally. Um, has water heaters in it right now. So, yeah. He's calling for his ladies. Yeah, I think so. There's a reason why, and I think I put this in the weekly review. There's a reason why you space the buck away from the ladies because they spray quite a distance. Yes, they do. Unless you want your ladies to be sprayed, give them the space. All right. So if you are a Katrina's kit, that means if you're a member of the channel, if you're not a member of the channel, join. Join button below, link in the description of all the videos. And if you are a Katrina's kit and you have not joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. It's Katrina's Kits and then in parentheses Sow and Tare. And not everybody that's a member is a member of the Facebook group yet. But since I don't have your guys' emails, that's pretty much the only way I can kind of get a hold of you guys. So that's what I'm trying to do right now is to get us all on the same page so we can actually talk. Or talk before the live events. So if you have a date that does not work for you, let us know on the Facebook group or in here if you are here. But we're looking at January, and then so a weekend in January, Saturday or Sunday, 12:30 is our start time, Pacific time. And then the um, and then the other thing is what are we making? Hoppin' John and cornbread is what we're going to be making for good luck for the year. And then after that, we are going to do flan. So February, we'll be making flan. And I have a recipe that's super, super yummy and super successful every single time. And that'll be on a Sunday. So we're going to have to figure out which Sunday it is because we're going to finish it up on Monday live. So you get to see what it looks like and get to see what it tastes like and be jealous. Or if you don't want to be jealous, you can make it with us and join. There's your forewarning. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Any more questions, comments, concerns? Hopefully, no concerns. Before we head out here, we had good chat. We got on some good subjects, and enjoy talking to you guys all the time. So it's good. Nobody, huh? That or somebody's furiously typing. Well, thank you guys all for coming, and I hope you have a good week. And we'll see you again next Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, have fun. We will see you soon. Have a good night.